Hi, this is Jerry King, and I'm back with another segment of Four Pillars of Destiny. And today I'm going to be talking about a chart where it's a little bit less conventional, I would say, a chart that doesn't seem to show any flow, because a lot of charts are like a lot of charts are out there right now that people read. They try to find charts that are easier to read, charts of famous people where everything's very obvious. The flow is very obvious where you have combinations and so on and so forth. But with this one that I'm looking at here, as you can see, it's a little bit more confusing. What do you do with a chart like this? For those who are new to Four Pillars of Destiny, this is even more challenging because you're looking at a chart where, oh, you have a bit of fire, a bit of wood, a bit of metal in the rooster, a little bit in the ox, and there's a bit of earth in the ox. So you have a bit of everything. There's water. Basically, the five elements are shown in a chart. So it's very easy to say, oh, the chart has all five elements, so the chart is a well-balanced chart, but we don't really, I don't think this really is a well-balanced chart. Just because elements are pretty much equal here in terms of the number that is shown. What we have to look at is the birth month itself. What is the birth month? Now we can see the birth month is in the pig, and that is in the wintertime where fire is considered to be, I wouldn't say obsolete. I want to use the word obsolete, but fire being extremely weak to the point where it's hard to grow. Like just think about a candle where you're taking out the candle and it's like sub-zero temperature, like -2 or -3. And how would that candle actually survive, especially if it's windy, right? And then there's additional water on top, and there's not much wood to support it, even though there's yin wood there. However, we can't really say that this chart follows any specific flow because if you look at it, there is a rooster and an ox here, and that is separated by the pig. So you can't really say the ox combines with the rooster. Now, there's a bunch of books or some masters have their own theory behind these types of combination where the combination does still occur just because it's in the chart. So they would say the rooster and the ox would combine. And then there's also the six harmony combination of the pig and the tiger. Whenever you have things that are separated, it's very hard to combine them. The only way you can actually bring them together is, let's say, if you had a snake to combine the ox and a rooster, and then now you have a metal combination there that brings it together, whether it comes in a luck cycle or whether it comes in the year itself. Now, going back to this one, since the combinations are being separated, it's very hard to say there are combinations. Some will have the other theory where it's called a hidden combination, right? Where the rooster and the ox can push out the snake, or but that doesn't work as well. So what we have to do is focus on the energy of the day master. Since there's no specific flow to it, we can't really say it surrenders the water or it surrenders the metal, even though there's a lot of water and metal there. It's not possible because of the lack of combination. So there's an additional yin fire in the month that actually helps strengthens the fire a little bit. And there's also a little bit of wood in the year. That strengthens the fire a little bit. And then to add to the fact that there's a tiger, so this person born in the morning, the tiger supports the fire, so it's actually growing the fire. So having said that, the fire is considered to be very weak, not to the point where we can say that it can surrender due to two factors. Um, First of all, it's got some resources. And second of all, there's a lack of combinations which can reinforce whether it's a water flow or a metal flow. So let's say if there's a rat, then it can reinforce a water flow where you have the pig and the ox and the rat. However, we don't have that. So what we can say here is the lack of combinations plus a support from the wood in the tiger and additional fire in the wood makes this chart weak. So when a chart is weak, it does not mean that, oh, this person is going to be constantly sick or not having the ability to achieve greatness or not having a very good life. There are still opportunities. So if they are in a good cycle, um, if there's additional wood or additional fire, which will come for anyone for their chart. Like for example, if you look at the um luck cycle of this person, so it goes from the pig and then to the dog and then to the rooster to the monkey and then eventually gets to the goat and then the horse cycle. The goat and the horse cycle will bring it more strength, more fire and strength, and most of the success has been achieved in those fire cycles. So the hope for this person is we use fire. So I'm going to bring this up. So um let's just ignore the year in the cycle first. We'll talk about that later. But if we look at this chart here, I would say, let's say favorable would be wood and fire, right? So I'm going to make this smaller. So wood and fire, and then we go unfavorable would be water, metal, right? And then where does that leave Earth? Can Earth be possibly neutral? Neutral, right? Something to consider because the Earth can block the water from making the fire weaker, right? So that's also something to consider. However, the thing is, if you add earth, you can also weaken the fire. Um, so and so the problem here is earth blocking water can help the chart, but earth reducing the strength of the fire, that's a problem. So something to keep in mind when I look at charts, I can't really say, oh, this is guaranteed to be terrible for a chart, or this is guaranteed to be good. Because we also have to see, okay, what kind of wood and what kind of fire, right? Obviously, in this case, any type of wood and fire would work. But sometimes when we think about wood and fire, we also have to factor in, let's say, combinations or something that combines a stem. Um, and let's say if in this case, if we put like a yang metal here, a combination can combine the yin wood away, right? So that's obviously not a good combination, but it also depends on the makeup of the chart. That's something for me to explain in the future where we can identify, let's say, a good element, and then suddenly the good element actually comes in and combines something away from your stem or from your branch. That would not be a good scenario. So we have to determine, okay, is yang wood good? Is yin wood good? Is yang fire good? Yin fire good? Yang water, in this case. Yang water combined with the yin fire, it could possibly be good because the water can help transform the fire into more wood, right? Even though the water is a controlling element, right? So that's something to consider on the side as well when reading a chart where you're looking at the stems and you have to understand the stem combinations. I talked about the stem combinations in one of my segments. You can probably refer to that if you have time. I will talk about it more in the future. In this case, what I want to focus on is the cycles itself. So I mentioned horse cycle being most likely good, right? Because we needed the fire, right? Needed more fire energy. So the horse can also combine with the tiger. Now, the problem lies here where we have this one, right? Here and here, right? Actually, I'm going to use a different color here. So we have this and we have this. So we have what we call a 3-harmony combination, right? 3-harmony combination, 3-harmony metal combination. We call it Sanha. San Jin Ju. So we have what we call the 3-harmony combination in Cantonese Sam Hap Gam Gok here. Okay. So what happens is this metal is going to cause problems towards the wood. It's going to attack the wood. It's very obvious. So this one is under attack, right? Prior to jump, it seems like I'm jumping around from topic to topic. But coming back to the chart itself, we also have to identify one thing first, and that is the Yongshan. Where's the useful god? The useful god, I would have to identify it as this one being the useful god. So this is my useful god. Useful god. Okay. Okay. Now, when we have a combination like this, where the snake and the rooster and the ox combine, this is attacking the useful god. Some may say, oh, why do we have to complicate things? You can actually just say, oh, the snake is punishing the tiger. Yes, true, that is also possible. But to simplify matters and not to complicate things, we want to focus more on the elements themselves. So when you have metal here, so when I have metal, and then we have wood, right? Wood. We have a conflict, right? We have a conflict between wood and metal conflict. And from there, we can see, oh, okay, there's the useful god is under attack. And obviously, when a useful god's under attack, their life is in danger as well, right? And to make matters worse, we have in this specific year the yin wood ox year. So, excuse me. So in his 60th year, basically this is being duplicated, what we call Fu Yin. And this also has his unfavorable element in there, which is a hidden metal, right? So this makes matters worse. And this person basically at this specific year passed away due to problems with his liver. Okay. And wood represents liver. Um, Liver wood hidden underneath, right? Hidden underneath the tiger, right? It's also possible that we can say, oh, okay, this metal and wood conflict can lead to like back and joint issues and things like that, right? And that is also possible. So I never rule this kind of stuff out. So when I'm reading a chart, I don't rule anything out. I can't really say, oh, okay, you're guaranteed to have liver problems, and that's it, right? Because we have to also understand the metal and wood conflict. The metal and wood conflict also can lead to other issues, such as your liver, nervous system. Sometimes I consider as part of wood and metal conflict as well. So these are things to think about when you have combinations, and the combination, you have to really identify where the combinations are or the potential of combining. So when I started off talking in this video where we see an ox and a rooster, the combination cannot occur just because it is separated by a pillar. But once a cycle comes in, the cycle can create that combination And then you can see right here in the drawing here where the combination is actually detrimental to the chart. We can't say, oh, now that the metal is coming in, can this person follow metal? No, it's very difficult. And the other important aspect of the chart is identifying the useful god. So when we look at charts, I'm just going to write this down. So first thing you want to do is you want to identify strength of the DM, Daymaster. Just giving you some guidelines here, what we can do. And then two, birth month. So looking at the birth month. The birth month can help determine the strength of the Daymaster. And then we also look at combinations, starting with the Sanha 3 harmony. 3 harmony, right? And then you work your way down to the 6 harmony or the directional combinations. Another topic that I can discuss in the future, which combination has more power? What do you prioritize when you read a chart? Which combination should we use? That's something to look at as well. And then obviously we look at clashes or punishments, right? Punishments. And yeah, these are some of the things that I focus on when I look at a chart. And then I go from there, and then I try to test the theory and test their history to see, okay, does this actually make sense? I look at, let's say, their luck cycles, right? The luck cycles are very important. But the problem is, if the person doesn't have, like, let's say the person is born at age 1, what do we look at? It's very difficult to test. So from that, we have to look at, we can focus on the first 4 points, right? First 4 points, because a person that's newly born, we can't really use the luck cycle much to determine, oh, what happened in the past, right? But you can look at monthly occurrences, like what happened in specific months. So a person that's born, let's say it's a 7-month baby, you can look at specific months where the child is not behaving or is not feeling well during those specific times or specific seasons. So being in the winter, the child being more sick can also tell you that this child does not like water, right? So a lot of things to observe when looking at a chart. So that's it for today. That's all I'm gonna talk about. I don't have anything else more to add. So um, hopefully you found this video interesting and useful. I will put up more videos in the future. I think there's a lot of topics that I want to talk about. This is your stem combination and your branch combination. Which ones do you prioritize, right? That's also another important thing to look at in 4 pillars of destiny. So if you like the video, hit the like button and feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to put up more videos in the upcoming months. All right. And thanks for tuning in.